They can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to train an outfit.
There.
Hello, old friend. St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut on the docks.
Not even. And don't go looking there.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the Navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again. I told you to be...
No need to get work.
Come on, you could tell me. Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors.
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
I bid you gentlemen farewell.
Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
Smoke. It's coming from this oil. I hope it's not toxic. This is primitive. Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? Let's see. The door is blocked on the other side. What happened here? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. Can't sleep. I know how that feels. Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? Whoever hid it here seems to worship Sarah Hawkins. What just happened? Did I imagine?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
You seem like a competent officer. We should help each other.
You're trying to manipulate me, Mr. Pierce. I hate to be taken for a fool.
All right, Inspector Lestrade. Let me take a more direct approach. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it.
Let me guess. It was in the Hawkins mansion.
Precisely. You can still see the burn marks. There's no doubt about it. I must admit that you seem fairly competent. But I can't allow you to stay here.
I've seen enough. It's the Hawkins mansion that interests me now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail. I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you...
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do. Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around, it would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
You stay here and keep an eye on things.
Okay. But don't get the impression that I'll leave you alone inside the mansion.
Jeepers! Poe's prophetic raven. Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined. The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this? Poor kid. Poor kid. Poor kid. I'll have to find another entrance. Someone is using the fireplace. I suppose that this is where old Winchester lives. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
Whoa!
You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
No one lives in the mansion, and you don't take care of it anymore. If you have a good reason to be here, I'm listening.
There's vermin. I keep an eye out.
Vermin.
Yeah, that's it, vermin.
Right. This is what we're going to do. I go inside, and I promise that I'll hunt vermin. Okay with you?
I'm not sure.
If there's nothing else to fear, you can give me that key.
Right. Take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion. This gate is locked. The poor wretch seems to spend the best part of his time isolated from the world. I know a thing or two about solitude myself. Rather Spartan. The caretaker has simple tastes. Bourbon. Empty, of course.
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go. Let's take a look inside.
I'm coming with you. There's no way I'll leave you alone in there without a watchful eye. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door. Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Too much rubble. I'll find an easier way. Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer? Charles and Sarah's wedding, as painted by Sarah herself. Charles and Sarah's wedding, as painted by Sarah herself. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? They had a fight. Why? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Did someone escape the fire? The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
Much of this evidence simply contradicts the investigation's findings.
Really? Tell me about it.
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark. The door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I can tell where young Simon was, but not his parents. Where were their bodies found?
I can't help you on that one. Charles and Sarah's bodies had already been carried away when I got here.
Without your authorization? By whom?
Marshall, Andrews, Chief West. We never deal with cases like that, you know. So... well...
I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Well, that must have been a loss for you.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle hadn't been there for a while?
I was under the impression the fire started around midnight.
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m. Poor devil ran so hard he was almost belching his lungs out.
This clock burned before 10 p.m.
That's impossible. What you imply? Silas never would have hurt the Hawkins family. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour of death in his report. Your clock must have already have stopped.
So be it. Let's move on. I suspect this lamp caused the fire.
That's what the investigation suggested, too.
But does your report mention the bloodstains? The lamp didn't fall, it was thrown at someone.
For heaven's sakes, no. The report doesn't mention that.
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose? This door is blocked from the outside. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance.
This place was falling apart long before the fire. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla. A crowbar could prove useful. 20,000 leagues under the sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. Dark water history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police? Locked. The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer. Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. Locked. What will her room reveal about her? A barbiturate prescription from a certain Dr. Fuller. That's a massive dose. Was Sarah violent? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated resorting to such a treatment. This padlock is too complicated for me. It's no use. The padlock won't give. It's no use. The padlock... won't give. It's no use. The padlock won't give. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. The door is blocked on the other side. This door is locked. It's no use. The padlock won't give. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve? Bradley? Is that you? Is anyone there? You! Stop! Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
I'll cover
Dated
you.
1818. This door was closed earlier. Where did he go? They look like
Do you
Celtic
really think that
runes.
your fugitive came in here?
Charles must have brought them back
I don't
from
see
one
any
of his
way
foreign
out.
trips. Have you seen the old maritime maps on Charles Hawkins' desk?
Strange. No ship has left Darkwater's shore for years. Maybe he kept them for sentimental reasons.
It looks like an old seaway map. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. Probably another friend of Hawkins. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. Seems like this came from a log. There must be a link with the Seaway map. As if the bookcase has been moved several times. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Charles Hawkins was a sort of traveler, right?
More like...
Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Looks like it worked.
Well done, Pierce. A secret passage under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have already gotten far.
Yeah. And he had a direct means of entry to the crime scene. We must find him.
What is this place? It's more than just a tunnel. Look. Someone's been here recently.
3 seats. Did Charles Hawkins use this place? Who were the others? Whatever Charles Hawkins hid here, he didn't want it in his house. What is this mask supposed to represent? This piece of cloth is unmistakably from a dress. Sarah Hawkins. Was she hiding from someone? Whoever was sitting here could have seen Sarah Hawkins. Could this be related to her death? Of course.
And something tells me that the key is climbing these steps. There's tunnels all over this island. Given the size of this cave, there's gotta be other entrances.
The passage continues further down. Might as well start with that.
I ain't gonna squeeze in there. I'll find another way. If possible, I prefer not to ruin my uniform.
Fine, fine. Go look for another entrance. I'll try my luck down below. Some kind of dream catcher. If I touch it, it'll turn to dust. An old diary. Sad way to go. Sad way to go. These paintings must be several centuries old. These people lying down, are they dead? Are they asleep? These buildings seem to have come out of the water. Time has weakened these structures. I don't have time to search them all. This oil again. What is it used for? What's going on here?
Piers!
Keep your voice down. We're not alone.
Good God. What have you got me into?
We'll see. I'll go on. Try to go down on your side.
Yeah, there's a passage. I'll meet you at the bottom.
A mass grave. Locked. A table for sacrifice? I gotta... Oh, I can't breathe. What's happening?
Is it my turn?
Yes. It is time. You will soon be one of us, if your body and mind are ready.
I dream of it every night. I have constant visions. I am ready.
Good enough. Prove it to us.
It's like in my dream. It seems to have been used recently. Probably some sort of ritual. I can't read Latin.
You who sleeps, accept this dreamer under your immortal wing.
Ya Cthulhu Nithsiha Fetagen.
Grant him your flesh and accept his, so that his body and yours may be one.
Yibithink.
Locked.
Tadk Cthulhu Bithinkor.
Grant him your mind and accept his, so that his mind and yours may be one.
Yeloig Padk Cthulhu Loigna.
Grant him your dreams and accept his, so that the paths of your souls finally intertwine.
I feel him.
Shh. You are gifted indeed. Not another word. Let him pass through every part of you. All you who sleep, we pray for your return into the kingdom of the earth. Bring me more sacred flesh.
We are ready for the ceremony. What about your protege?
His awakening is complete. He will join you shortly.
It looks like a kind of deep coma. What could this ritual have done to them?
Ishtelbaz Natulu, Lenalaf, Kli Nochschlag Rele, Gorkanira, Sigov, Enia Bedach, Nikif, Krishtelbaz Natulu, Lenalaf, Kli Nochschlag Rele, Gorkanira, Sigov, Enia Bedach, Nikif, Krishtelbaz Natulu.
Bradley, what are you doing here? I saw two odd-looking guys coming down. Seemed up to no good. What in the world is this?
An intruder!
Oh, shit! Don't move! Police! Don't move! I won't hesitate!
Bradley, get back!
Shoot.
Get back!
You asked for it! Charles, you shouldn't have seen this. Ah!
caving in. I need to get out of here. My leg! Light! At last.
I need help.
Prepare another shot for injection.
No!
He's having a seizure.
He will survive. A strong subject. There, he's opening his eyes.
You saved him, Fuller.
I can't get up.
Don't move, Pierce. You can certainly say that you gave us a scare.
What did you do to me? Undo these straps!
Whoa! Go easy, my friend.
You were dead. He killed you.
Are you sure he's better?
He was dead. Me too, we were dead! What are you doing?
I'm sorry, my friend.
What? No! What happened to me? Where am I?
Mr. Sanders, you have to come with us.
No, please. I can't leave here.
You got no choice, Sanders, and neither do we. No, you don't understand. If I go out, he'll see me. No! No!
You're leaving this cell!
Please. I don't want him to find me.
This foul gas again.
They tracked and hunted me, pursued me right into their dreams. They scrawled all over their maps in the wake of my lonely wanderings. No sea is dark enough to hide the color of my blood. No wind strong enough to scatter my dreams. When the last of them rises up, you will choose. I will not be here to bear witness to it, because you will have released me. But the earth will resound to your cries, or theirs.
You there. Wake up. Come on, stand up. We don't have much time. Can you stand up?
Who are you?
A friend of Ethan Bradley. It was he who told me that you had been interned here.
Wait. Bradley is really alive? I don't understand. You filled me so full of drugs I can't distinguish dream from reality.
Please believe that I have nothing to do with these disgraceful treatments. Look, I don't have time to explain everything. I'm not really supposed to be here. And the same goes for you, according to Ethan. You must leave as soon as possible, and as unobtrusively as possible. I've brought you your clothes. Let me go ahead. We'll meet upstairs.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? What do they do to the patients to make them so terrified?
I would really like to know. I only see them when they are brought up for medical treatment, for problems they didn't have before going downstairs. But this is neither the time nor the place to talk about that. We must not stay here. There are 2 men standing guard near the stairs. It's the only way to the floor above. I shall try to distract them, and get at least one to come with me. All you need to do is to follow me as soon as the way is free.
Understood. What does this mean? What did they inject him with? Am I in an asylum? Sarah. Why the strange symbol repeated over and over? What did he write about the painting? Sarah Hawkins is on this list of authorized visitors. If I don't get out of here, I'll end up like him. Poor wretch.
Dr. Corridon, I would like to say that I'm surprised to see you, but we all know that your curiosity will be your ruin.
I don't understand. These people need care. You keep them in this terrible place as if...
Go back upstairs where your patients are waiting for you to treat them. As for you, gentlemen, do not disappoint me anymore. No one enters or leaves.
Yes, Doctor.
Damn it! I'll have to find a way of getting rid of those 2 myself.
I told you not to talk about him.
I know. All right. I know.
The machine is working again, but the control wheels haven't been put back on.
I was just going to the storage room. I can bring them to you.
No, Dr. Fuller doesn't want us touching the pressure valves.
As you want. I'm gonna see if there's sleeping pills left. They've run out again upstairs.
Put a few aside for me, will you? And above all, leave the wheels where they are.
Good God. What could this machine be used for? What is going on here? Is there a connection between this corpse and the machine? The corpse is complete. Whose are these limbs? It's an ammeter. I didn't expect to see one on this little rock. Have I activated anything? Worse and worse. What's the connection between this meat and the electrical installation? This is madness. Are they seriously thinking of transmitting the properties of this meat by electric current? Do the cops know what's going on?
Yeah, you there. Come here. I don't know what you're doing there, but you don't seem to be friends with the nurses. I can help you. Help me, and I'll
What do you want?
Sleep. That's all.
Sleep? You don't want to leave?
No. Have you seen the storm that's brewing? I'm fine here. Except for one problem.
You want sleeping pills, right?
Yeah. And in exchange, I can make noise. Lots of noise.
You'll draw the guards to your cell to allow me to escape.
So, you in? Find something to make me sleep, and I'll take care of the guards for you.
Is it the noise that disturbs you?
No, it's the nightmares. We all have them here. That's what wakes us up. And afterwards, there's no way to get back to sleep.
I'll find you some pills.
Go look in the storage room. There must be sleeping pills there.
What is welling up inside me? I feel it in my head and in my body. He roars and swells and has strength of oceans. White, nourishing foam.
Saw something over
Locked. Exactly what I need. Wheel to mount on a plumbing system. It's locked. The green gas leaves from here, and it runs through the whole building. Now for the next step. This valve controls the pressure. It's impossible to break this chain with my bare hands. A duct. This padlock is too complicated for me. This machine seems to consume a great deal of electricity. What will happen if I increase the current to the limit? Dementia? Self-inflicted wounds? Anatomy, anthropology, nothing surprising. Sarah Hawkins. She was a patient here. Zoology, esotericism, mineralogy, and a full shelf on cephalopods.
Burns me. We will not eat it anymore. Never again. We must not.
It's done. Now for the others.
6. No, not 6. If I do not stop, he does not catch me. If he does not catch me...
Don't let me sleep in here.
My calculations... I don't know what this date is. But the calculations... they're right. Days. Maximum. 5 at the most.
This padlock is too complicated for me.
Who's there? This way! You there! Hey!
Theoretically, I've only got one lever to push. The door is blocked on the other side. It's impossible to break this chain. With my bare hands. This lever must turn on the gas machine. There's nothing happening. It's no use. The padlock won't give. I can still increase the load.
So, have you got him?
Not yet.
Hurry up!
Where do they keep their sleeping pills? My new friend's sleeping pills. Scopolamine, morphine, opium. Nothing but common drugs.
I'll go take a look.
The door is blocked on the other side. With these chains on your wrist, you can't escape. I've got to hide before the guards see me.
Is somebody here?
Doctor, is that you?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
What is the exact nature of the beast you're running away from?
Well, you've got instinct, a sensitivity for the invisible. It puts you in danger. The creature that is pursuing me is not from our world.
After what I've seen so far on this island, I'm ready to believe you.
Don't do that! Do not believe, or you'll end up like us all.
What happened to you, Sanders?
The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation. These things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation. But she failed. And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. No, don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me.
No! Sanders! What the hell?
I gotta... Okay. This is insane. What killed him? Damn! The gas! Oh, my head.
Later. We need to move on.
Who goes there?
That nightmare again. I need a drink.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the Force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
I saw people in hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about? Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know, but they were a threat. They've taken over the caves under the mansion. They were performing some kind of ritual. One of the entryways was under Charles Hawkins' office.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins of being involved.
My patients believe the old islanders used to worship primitive sea gods. Could they be the focus of the cult?
Am I hearing this right?
So you think me gullible?
No, not at all.
What else did you uncover, Mr. Pierce?
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
I found a Darkwater PD badge. Lost a colleague recently?
What the...
Bradley.
Ethan?
I'm all right. I just had a... It's gone.
You're sure?
If it's important, it'll come back. But I can't explain why Dr. Fuller would have that badge.
The man's a danger, believe me.
What can we do, Pierce?
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion, you don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital, and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course. He's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there, with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
The other night's events are still confused.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.